Hey guys, welcome back. I got a quick update on the TLR-1 holster. In case you haven't seen the previous video, this is a 3D printable holster that locks on to a Streamlight TLR-1 HL. It doesn't interface anything with the pistol, it's just all in the light. I designed it around Glocks, but as you can see, got a SIG here and it also works really well with that. So it'll fit other pistols also. So the purpose of this video is to show you a new locking tab that I've designed for this holster. One of you guys emailed me and mentioned that you didn't think that there was quite enough interface between the current locking tab and the back of the light to be secure. I haven't heard from anybody that it was coming loose, but doing some due diligence, went ahead and redesigned the locking tab, and this new one should give us a little bit better lockup on the pistol just to make sure we don't have any issues in the future. So for any of you guys that have already printed one of these things out, I'd recommend that you go ahead and print off the new locking tab and replace it in your holster that you got. It'll fit in place with current holsters. Nothing changed in the holster, it's just the tab itself. So what specifically changed was I've added this chamfered notch at the end of the locking tab. The purpose of this is to give a little bit more room for this area right here to interface on that part of the light. Before, this part would hit on the activation button and it wouldn't allow it to go up all the way and make very much contact with the back of the light, but now with that notch there, it should make a lot better contact and hold itself on there much more effectively. To swap it out, just take a piece of 16th inch pin stock, same stuff that you assembled it with, stick it in this little hole in the back side, and tap it in to remove the pin that's in there. Once you get it pushed in far enough, it'll be stuck out this side. You can grab it with a pair of wire snips, pull it back out from the other side too, and then your locking tab will come out. This is a good opportunity too to see if we've got any wear on this locking tab. I've used this locking tab for months now in this holster. It doesn't look like there's any wear on the back side, and the tip looks like it's in pretty good shape too. But now you can compare the difference in profiles between these two. You can see that this one has much more of a notch cut out, and that should be more of a relief to let the tab engage a little bit more up against that light activation button. So just like before, we're going to keep our little spring stood up inside of here. I'm going to put the end of that spring inside that little notch that I've got inside the locking tab and press down. Hopefully everything's about lined up at this point. So I'll take my pin and drive it in. Tip that looks a little bit sharp. I'm going to round over the tip of that a bit. Here we go. I just kind of knocked the corners off of that pin just to help it go up in there a little bit easier. Seems like we're hitting something up in here. Let me pull this out. I'll make sure that everything's lined up the way it needs to be. Feels like our spring had fallen over and kind of got in the way. So I'm going to stand that spring back up in there again. Remember, there's a little divot up inside there that you're standing the spring up in. You're not just standing it up inside the notch. Looking for the little round divot up inside there to place the spring in. A little extra piece of pin stock might help. You kind of, there we go. Standing up straight now. There we go. I press it down in there. I'm going to go ahead and run the drill through just to make sure everything's lined up good. Feels like we're a little bit stiff, so let me pull this guy out. I'm going to open up this hole just a little bit more. Scrape down the edges. I'm going to kind of take the corners off the top of this thing too, because sometimes they like to hang up in the top of that slot that we've got in there. There we go. That looks pretty good from a functionality standpoint. Let's see about the lockup. Locks up pretty good. And you can see right down inside there, or maybe you can't see, but I can see, we're getting more interface with the back of the light now, so it should be a stronger lockup. I'll delete the old files, and I'll replace them with these new files. That way, anyone who prints it off in the future will have the improved locking tab. You guys can go back, just download the locking tab files and print off a new one if you want to swap it out. All right, there you go. Thanks for watching.